Okay, everybody, so it is that time of the month. We officially have the spoilers for the upcoming chapter of the Boruto manga, Boruto chapter 63. So if you do not want spoilers at all, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to click out of the video because we are going into full spoilers. Yes, we are talking about the entire chapter, okay? So if you do not want spoilers in any way, shape, or form, there's your warning. If you're still here, I'm gonna assume you are okay with spoilers. Now, as always, we are going to go through the whole chapter, as in, we're going to go through dialogue and everything. So it is going to be a bit of a long video. However, I will go through this first. Now, this is a sort of a summary and bullet points of everything important that does happen in the chapter. So if you just want quick notes as to what happens, we're going to go through this, and then we're going to go through the whole chapter. Okay, so there you go. If you're short on time, just know that we're going to go through the bullet points, and you can click off the video then if you want, because you'll basically get the whole chapter, and then I'm going to go through the entire all of the dialogue, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts as we're going through them. Okay, so there's your idea of what we're going to do with this video. So let's go through the bullet points. Like I said, so the chapter is called "There's No Use in Arguing," and this is like it said here, a distilled bullet point lists of a list of what happened in the chapter, so you don't have to read my verbose three-part novelization summaries if you don't like it, or if you don't feel like it. And which, again, we're going to go through all of them. So let's go through them. So the cover color: Boruto unleashing a Rasengan with normal karma activated. Code reestablishes contact with Ada via their ear sleeve portal thingy again. So we saw it in the previous chapter where he has that small claw mark on his hand, and he puts his ear through it, and it comes out through the one that he put on Ada, so she can talk to him and he could listen, which looks kind of weird if I'm being honest. Ada kind of peeved that Code went rogue and wasn't listening to her. Sleepy Daemon all throughout this chapter, so Daemon is just asleep throughout this entire time, which, by the way, I have an interesting theory about Daemon and why he's sleeping, and it in a way relates to his power, so I'm gonna possibly do a video talking about what this means and what Kishimoto's probably trying to tell us through this. Now, you're gonna have to wait for that video. I'm not gonna waste your breath here, or I'm not gonna waste your time here. Excuse me. Says and does nothing. Code and Ada try to guess how Boruto found Kawaki without trailing his chakra. Ada is jealous. Well, the plot says so. That's pretty much why. Ada is jealous that Boruto and Kawaki have a special bond with each other. Kawaki just wants Code to take him away already. Boruto obviously doesn't want Kawaki to go with Code. Boruto wants to hold back at least long enough for Naruto and the adults to arrive. Kawaki reiterates that he wants to give up his own life to protect the Hokage. Kawaki figures out that there's someone that Code must be taking orders from. Kawaki would rather negotiate with that person since Code is not being receptive. Ada's heart literally goes doki doki. Okay, if you don't know what this means, it's basically, usually in manga they'll have that affects letters, doki doki, in order to simulate the beating of a heart. So that's what it's supposed to be, and it's usually shown whenever to tell you that this person's heart's beating a lot faster. Usually it's done in romance, so that's pretty much what's happening here. Because Kawaki willingly wants to meet her, Ada starts blushing profusely and starts sweating. Boruto sucker punches Kawaki in the face for overcomplicating the situation. I actually fully agree. Boruto declares that he will be the one to protect Kawaki. Ada is very moved by Boruto's impassioned speech to Kawaki, a wavering heart. So she's already moving forward to someone else. God damn it. Kawaki just can't catch a break. Code admits to Boruto that he's conflicted about sacrificing Boruto to the Jubi, although I don't think Kawaki really cares, if I'm being honest. Code says that he reveres Boruto as an Otsutsuki, which makes his mission cruel. Code wants to play with Boruto for a bit to see the quality of the sacrifice. Wait, hold on. He reveres Boruto, but isn't Boruto one of the people he wants to kill because of what he did to Ishiki? Why does he all of a sudden... I mean, yeah, they said he reveres the Otsutsuki, but I thought that only extended to Ishiki. Like, everyone else is like, he doesn't give a shit. Also, this possibly disproves the theory that a lot of people had, and I've been seeing this, that Amado is an Otsutsuki, because if he was an Otsutsuki, then Code would have, in a way, revered him too. If he reveres Boruto because he's part Otsutsuki, then he would have done the same to Amado. But since he's not, there is a chance that probably disproves that Amado is an Otsutsuki, and he's probably just a regular human being who's just really, really smart. Code wants to play with Boruto for a bit to see the quality of the sacrifice. Kawaki knows that Boruto is no match for Code and wants him to run away. Naruto, Nishi, and Inu still can't locate Kawaki, which I think is absolute BS, by the way. They finally realize that Boruto is gone. Yeah, I'll go into more I'll probably go into more detail when we get to that part in the full chapter, breakdown. Boruto activates regular karma to prepare to battle against white karma activated code. Boruto tries Rasengan and some taijutsu against code, but it's easily blocked, of course. Boruto pre-prepared Kage Bunshin transformed into a shuriken to surprise code, so emulating his father. Boruto attempts Raiton Jin Raisen. I don't know what that. I know it's lightning style, but I don't know what that translates to. I don't know if it's the same lightning style ability we've seen him use multiple times. But Code disappears to safety with his claw marks. Code repeatedly kicks Boruto around while lecturing about how to properly use karma, which that to me is just absolutely dumb. Like, why would you willingly want your opponent to be better? That's just dumb. Boruto gets sent flying back even further with every subsequent strike. Code explains the pith of karma, the combat experience of the Otsutsuki. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna have some thoughts on this. So Boruto then unleashes his karma. He gets surrounded by a fiery chakra aura. Boruto now has square-angled facial marks and the fingering karma mark patterns. Boruto does look like his previous Borushiki appearances, except Boruto doesn't transform with a horn, plus his other eye still seems to be normal plus open. Boruto's right eyeball doesn't seem to have a placeholder pupil marks, error, misprint, drugs. A Code seems mildly satisfied to finally see the power of Momoshiki for himself. So yeah, again, I'm gonna have some thoughts on this when we get to them, because if that's the case, I don't think I'm gonna like it, and I'll explain why. So okay, that's like I said. Those are just the bullet points. That's basically a summary of what happens in the chapter. If you're satisfied with that, there you go. If you clicked off the video now, I would completely understand. But moving forward, we're gonna go through the whole chapter, so it's gonna make this video a bit longer. So if you click off the video now, I completely understand. But if you're still here, let's go through the whole chapter. Now it's a bit long, so we're gonna zoom in just to give you guys a better look. Okay, there we go. So, like they said, normal activated Karman forming a Rasengan in his other palm. So let's get to the actual scene. So the chapter opens with Boruto standing in between Code and Kawaki, who is still on his hands and knees. We get treated to a dramatic trifold panel of them all staring at each other. Code then presses his right hand, which has a segment of his black-studded belt, on his palm against his right ear again. His ear then appears on the back of on the black-studded belt that is located on Ada's sleeve. Daemon is still fast asleep in her arms. Ada's left eye is still activated with a black stellara, so she still has the Senrigan activated. As you can see, Boruto-kun detected Kawaki and came chasing after him. Seriously, I ended up giving you a report about it after it all happened because you weren't listening to me and were behaving so recklessly. Code, he went in pursuit of Kawaki even though he had extinguished his chakra. How did he do that? Well, like I said, plot. I don't know. Maybe because maybe it's because he's an Otsutsuki, or it's due to the effects of karma. Either way, it seems like they have a special bond with one another. I'm jealous. Where were we? Here we go. Boruto continues to angrily stare back at Code. Kawaki, you use yourself as bait. Weren't you just saying that your objective was to drag out that bastard Code? Fun fact, since S is also used to refer to fodder or animal feed as well as a decoy, lure, or bait, pretty fitting double meaning since Kawaki could have been a ten-tail snack. Didn't I tell you not to do such unnecessary things? You're gonna get killed, don't you understand that? Yeah, I actually fully agree. I said it in my previous video, but this is pretty dumb. Like, this was a dumb plan, I'm sorry. That was my line, you dumb bastard. Don't you know personality? Don't you know my personality? That's true. Kawaki should have known Boruto wasn't going to go along with this. Given the circumstances, there was no way I wouldn't have gone chasing after you. You shithead were equally stupid. The nuance in what Kawaki is saying is that their feelings are mutual in this regard. Kawaki is now finally standing back upright. Oi, Code, weren't you trying to take me somewhere? Don't pay attention to that guy, just hurry up and do it. Code still has the palm on his hand pressed up against his right ear. Boruto then turns around to address Kawaki and is a bit taken aback. What are you talking about? Listen up, stay out of this, Boruto. Don't interfere with me any more than you already have. Why are you acting so desperately? I'm right here. Sooner or later, Dad and his teammates are gonna follow up on the chakra. They'll be coming to help us. We just gotta hang on until then. I don't know why they're already not doing it. Like, it seems like they should have immediately realized that Boruto wasn't there. I mean, weren't they keeping an eye on them? That's probably why your idea is useless. There's no point in doing that. I won't let the Nana Daime die, the 7th Hokage, for anyone who doesn't know, even if it costs my own life. Kawaki, Code then starts wrestling and adjusting the hood on his cloak inside. The lining of the hood is another small strip of studded black belt. He slides the hood over his head so that it aligns with his right ear. That lot from Konoha are still focused on searching for Kawaki from within the village, but now that Boruto has appeared over there, it'll only be a matter of time before the Hokage and his comrades show up. Again, how did they not already know that he wasn't there? How did they not already immediately realize that he left? That just. Okay, that just seems. It just seems stupid. Only one of them is being meddlesome, but well, what the hell can you even do to protect the Hokage Kawaki? Didn't you say that there was someone who wants to meet me? I don't know who the heck they even are, though. Uh, I want to have a chat with them since I'm not making much progress here with a bastard like you anyway. She goes on to talk about how she changed the pronoun to them because Kawaki isn't implying multiple people. Kawaki knows that Code won't yield to him anytime soon and should just meet with the other person. I was going to write something like, I'm not going anywhere with you, but I thought that was confusing to other non native English speakers. Non native. Oh, okay. I get it. How unexpected of you. No way Kawaki wants to come meet me. Oh my goodness. And she starts acting like the typical shonen female that we see in a lot of shonen series. So, okay. You said that I was excluded from your murder list, so knowing a bastard like you would have thought about killing me off in the first place, and yet I've been excluded. All for their sake, that means that someone who is influential enough to make this Ishiki maniac bastard obey them, isn't that right? That's why I want to negotiate with him. So Kawaki is actually a lot smarter than he appears. So this is actually pretty smart of him to immediately realize that he's taking orders from someone else. Well, not necessarily taking orders, it's more like an agreement. You're rather quick-witted, aren't you, for coming up with something like this at the last minute? She starts. Okay. So it's fine then, not that I give a damn, but never know what kind of unreasonable demands they might impose on you. People who have any sort of business to do with me never turn out to be decent people, so I'm kind of used to it. Yes, well, Naruto, Boruto is kind of. I think they're the exception. I mean, dude, come on. Ishiki, Amado, I get it, and Code now, and maybe Ada's gonna ask him for God knows what, considering what she wants. Well, I intend to forcibly take you along with me anyway, but if you're willing to come along with me, then this is turning out to be an even better scenario, so why don't we get going? Wouldn't he want to try to kill Boruto first? Like, why would he just willingly go? I mean, he went there to kill everyone involved with killing Ishiki, so Boruto's right there. Wouldn't he think that, okay, you just hold off right there, let me just go kill this guy quick? I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird to me. Wait a minute, you guys, you can't just keep discussing things and proceed to do whatever you want. Didn't I tell you to stay out of this? Don't overcomplicate the discussion. You're the one who's overcomplicating things, Kawaki. Didn't you understand what I said? Dad wouldn't want something like this to happen. That's true. I mean, you would think that Kawaki, who cares about Naruto, would at the very least take how Naruto would feel in this situation into consideration, but okay. Basically, sort of mimicking what Sasuke kind of did in the Sasuke retrieval arc, where he basically told Sakura that she can't come with him because this is his thing to do, and then he knocked her out. So, kind of playing into the thing that I said that I didn't like about Boruto, how a lot of it feels like they're just rehashing what's already been done before. So, okay, I've accepted it at this point. I'm kind of done complaining about it. Boruto then sucker punches Kawaki right in the face. His left cheek is deforming. Okay, so let's move on over to the next slide. Okay, this is a little bit. There we go. Code smirks a bit as he watches Boruto and Kawaki argue. Code says, "Wow, you bastard! Why did you freaking do that? That's enough. Have it your way. I really understand how you feel though about protecting Dad, but I'm going to protect you. I'll do things my way, and it's got nothing to do with you. Isn't that right, brother?" Hold up. Wasn't that so cool? Was this? God damn it. So she's already starting to move to someone else. So she can't even stick with one person. It's like, come on. Come on. So you're Otsutsuki Momoshiki's vessel, Uzumaki Boruto. This is the first time that we've met, right? I'm Code. I worship the Otsutsuki. I'm the one who has inherited their mighty will. And Boruto asks, what did you inherit and from whom? Aren't you just a lowly grunt? Sorry, but you're not that interesting. So Boruto just said what a lot of the fans have basically been saying all this time, that Code isn't really all that interesting. This is how I honestly feel, though. I revere you. For me, the Otsutsuki are beings to worship. They are beings that are on par with the gods. Again, this to me is weird because the way they've been talking about it, I always thought that that only extended to Ishiki and not necessarily the Otsutsuki themselves. I don't know. It's just like, are they retconning it to it being the Otsutsuki in general, or I don't know. That's just what it feels like to me. That's why this will be so painful for me. In order to cultivate the Shinju, there must be a sacrifice. So I'll have to feed you to the Tentail since I'm a pious devotee. This mission is too cruel for me. Oh, how sad for you. So that's how it is. But needless to say, I'm sorry that you had to go through this, but why can't you just pretend none of this ever happened and just go home? We now see a panel of Code with his right hand morphed into a claw. It's peeking out from his cloak. That's impossible. This is my long awaited chance, one that's free of hindrances. I've been wondering what the quality of the sacrifice would be like, so let me check you out for a bit. Kaoki, runaway Boruto, there's no way that you'd win. Not a chance in a million, you know that. Boruto says, it's unlikely that he'll let me get away that easily, and what'll happen after I make my escape? Anyway, I don't like to make too many assumptions about people when I've only just met them. Dude, come on. I mean, that's just, I get what he's trying to say, but it's like, you've been told over and over that this guy is crazy. It's like, come on, you should know this by now. As Boruto starts to activate karma, so he's gotten to the point where he can activate it at will now. So he is the whole thing about him being afraid that Momoshiki will take over kind of gone now? It's just okay. So it only lasted for like a minute. The pattern spreads around his face and eye like usual, but there's no mistaking that he's a thick-headed psycho bastard. I've got to drive him away somehow. Look, even she says, I still have no idea how Naruto didn't notice that Boruto has been gone for a while now. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, they should have noticed immediately since they're carefully watching over them. This just it feels like this happened again. This is another case of plot convenience. It feels like this is something that is happening just for the sake of the plot, and it's just I don't like it. We've already had too many examples of it in Boruto. We don't need any more. Ino says we can't find it. We've expanded our reach not only within the village, but also into the areas outside of it as well. Where has Kaoki gone off to? Shouldn't they have at least been able to sense Code's chakra? I don't think Code has the ability to mask his chakra signature. So shouldn't they have at least sensed him and said, hey, there's a strange chakra outside. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird to me because they should have sensed him by now, because they never said that Code also has the ability to mask his chakra signature. Alright, whatever. I see. Could you try expanding your sensory range, says Naruto. First off, if he really did extinguish his chakra, no matter how we search for him using this method, I don't think we'll be able to locate him. Naruto then has a brief flashback of Boruto saying that Kaoki escaped and extinguished his chakra. Boruto also mentioned that Kaoki is probably already outside the village. Naruto then notices that Boruto is gone and he looks around the room. Seriously, dude? I mean, okay, no, I'm sorry, but this is just a case of plot-induced stupidity. This is dumb. This is absolutely stupid. No way they wouldn't have noticed that Boruto was gone. Especially since Boruto did not mask his chakra signature because his whole plan was to let people follow his chakra to where he is, to where Kaoki and Code are. Wow, okay, this is you just made Naruto look like a dumbass. Naruto calls out to him for some help from the window. That guy Kaoki, where the heck did he go? Nishi, where's Boruto right now? I need to talk to him. And then he basically just says, I'm sorry, it doesn't seem like he's close by. And Naruto's just, oh, God, dude, this guy, fire him. Just seriously, fire him. This guy's fucking garbage. All right, let's move forward. This is the last one. The scene switches right back to Boruto, who's engaging in taijutsu with Code. Boruto tried to kick Code in the head, but Code just raises a transformed left arm and casually blocks it. Boruto then starts forming a Rasengan and closing in on Code's torso. Code doesn't react much at all, Rasengan still in hand. Boruto takes a swing at Code, however Code has suddenly disappeared. He slipped into a section of the studded black belt that was placed already in the ground. Boruto thinking to himself, so that's an example of his ability, he can move from claw mark to claw mark. Yeah, that's basically what his ability is. He starts to emerge from one of the black studded belts that was positioned across him from a tree trunk. Kaoki says, Boruto behind you. Code fully emerges with his right claw ready to strike. He lands a swipe on Boruto, which sends him flying off in midair. Boruto manages to reorient himself. He flings some shuriken at Code. Code readies both his arms to counter, but Boruto has actually thrown them a bit past Code. As Boruto crashes into the ground, another Boruto seemingly pops up right behind Code, and Code is rather surprised that Boruto has disguised himself as one of the shuriken. So basically emulating his father. Okay. Excuse me. The Boruto in the air from behind code now uses Raiton Jinraisen. I don't know what that again translates to. Complete with four exclamation points. Boruto struck it into the ground. Kawaki steadies himself from the blast. However, he did not hit Code at all. As the smoke clears, only three claw marks remain where he once stood. Damn those claw mark things again. Where did he freaking go? The airborne Boruto then poofs away. Boruto looks behind him again. Code starts talking to him calmly. He's leaning up against the tree, but has crossed his arms and legs. He's still standing up though. Those two lines of black studded belts at his feet. I see. So you prepared a Kagebushin that had already been transformed into Shuriken. How intriguing! You're making me get excited to battle a shinobi. However, Code then gives him a cold glare right back at Boruto. He activates his white variant Karma. Why does he remind me of a cloaked evil Kabuto? It doesn't seem like you know how to use Karma. And then, oh yeah, this is his first time technically seeing the white Karma. Code starts walking towards Boruto. Boruto tries to engage him with a punch. However, Code elbows him beneath the jaw before he can even make contact. Boruto gets sent flying backwards, thinking to himself he's fast and that was a hard, solid hit. Honestly, Boruto should be just completely disoriented because I don't know if you know, but if you hit somebody, I mean, it's not clear where it says, but if he really did hit him under his jaw, then Boruto should be completely disoriented at this point. He shouldn't even be able to stand. So, Code is nonchalantly walking up to Boruto, who's lying on the ground trying to get back up. Boruto reaches back into his pouch and tries to throw more shuriken at Code again. Boruto misses. Code coldly kicks Boruto in the torso, which sends him flying backwards even further than before. Boruto lands face down on the ground. Seriously, you're no match for him. Wasn't that obvious already? Do you know why you suddenly get stronger when you activate Karma? Your power and speed increases, but because it improves your physical abilities. That's just one of its main attributes, of course, but honestly, that alone won't lead to a dramatic improvement in your combat capabilities. It's also due to something else, the pith of Karma. Kawaki says the pith of Karma, and she notes that Shinzui pith can also mean soul, spirit, essence, core, heart, etc. There are a lot of fitting ways it could be translated, okay? That's what has been accumulated by existing for such a long time. The combat experience of the Otsutsuki, Karma adds that experience onto yourself as is. That's why you become stronger. In other words, you'll instantly become a seasoned veteran and a fearless fighter if you can properly and precisely draw out the power of Karma that is. Okay, okay, so I said I'm gonna have some thoughts on this. So, yeah, I don't like this, if I'm being honest. I really do not like it because, okay, I said in one of the previous chapters when it was revealed that when you receive the karma, you receive the power of the Otsutsuki who gave you that karma. That's why Amado is suggesting to Kawaki that I give you a karma in order to access the power that's left inside you from the time you had the karma which Ishiki gave you. So in essence, he should be able to access the power that Ishiki left in Kawaki, so he can use it when he eventually uses Kawaki to bring himself back. So Kawaki would essentially gain the power of Momoshiki, Ishiki, excuse me. Now, I said before that I didn't like it because if that's the case, then it's going to be another case, if it's going to be a case of a character just being given a power as opposed to them working to earn it. And if what they said here is true, then not only will they get the power, but they'll also get the battle experience. So in essence, you're telling me that if they learn to harness the karma, they won't need to train at all. They'll not only get the power, but they'll also get the experience. So they'll basically just instantly become a seasoned fighter every time they activate karma. So if that's the case, then what's the point of even training at all? If they could just get all of that experience right there. What would even be the point of training at that point? Do you see what I mean? Like, why would you do this? I mean, it was bad enough you already said that they get the power of the Otsutsuki, but now you're telling me they're also going to get the experience? Come on. I mean, that's just... No, don't do this. This is bad. This is fucking bad. You just established in one of your previous arcs that it's important to train yourself, which, yes, it's okay to have help, but it's also important to train your own techniques, your own skills. But now you're telling me that with this, they don't even need to do that. They could just activate the karma and just immediately just be an experienced fighter, and you have the power to match it. If that's the case, then again, what's the point of training? What's the point of it? God. And you know what this reminds me of? They get the battle experience of the karma. It reminds me way too much of the Avatar state from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like how the Avatar, whenever they go into the Avatar state, not only can they draw upon the power of the previous avatars, they also draw upon their experience. So if you need to do something that you don't know, you can just go full Avatar state, get the experience from one of the previous avatars who does have it, and then boom, you instantly know it. That's what this reminds me of, and I don't know if Kishimoto's like a fan of the series or not, but that's what this reminds me of. Well, yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like it because, like I said, it's a case of a character just being given a power up instead of them working to earn it, and I just, uh, okay, all right, whatever. At this point, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I'm just so sick of. I'll still point out that whether I like it or not, but I'm not gonna get to the point of complaining about it because I feel like it's just I feel like I've said everything I need to say at this point. So let's move forward. Code goes to stomp down on him with his foot, but Boruto has vanished. Code still seems pretty calm and unfazed. He glances off to the side with his eyes, but without turning his head at all. Boruto's now squatting and burning with a fiery chakra. Boruto has different karma markings than on the cover page now. His facial karma pattern is more square and angular, like in Borushiki versus Boro. And his right arm has the karma ring pattern around his fingers. He does not have a horn. So what? He just immediately learned how to do what Code was telling him to do? Just like that? Of course. Of course he did, because he's Boruto. He knows everything. He doesn't need to learn anything. He could just get it. He could just get it. Ay. There are no dots for an iris or a pupil like the typical placeholder for a Byakugan pupil. That could be an accidental art oversight or a misprint though. Or maybe the boba pills are working. Was the horn ever going to grow back after getting snapped off several chapters ago? Yes, that's it. Just like that. Okay, yes, she even says it does. It does sound kind of dirty. Oof. Maybe Code's a bit of a freak. We don't know. Ada and Kawaki observe the scene silently. Boruto starts slowly standing back up. A menacing chakra aura surrounds him. You can see clouds from his breathing. We get some SFX intensify. His left eye is obscured by his hair, but seems to be normal and remains open. So, so now he's at a point where he can just immediately learn how to evolve the karma mark. No training or whatever, just like that. Now I will say, to be fair, this also did happen in Naruto with Sasuke and the curse mark. Now granted, with Sasuke it was a little bit different, where he had to take those mind awakening pills where he basically had to die and they had to seal him away to keep him from dying, keeping him in a near death state. So in a way it did happen, but Sasuke still had to do things in order to properly learn how to use the curse mark, whereas Boruto, it seems like he just did it. Okay, all right. It's just wow. That's just I did not like that part of the end, where they just immediately tell you, like, you'll be able to get the power and the battle experience just like that. Just activate the karma mark and you're immediately a seasoned fighter. Now, do I think that Boruto would still be able to win even with the karma mark activated and even at this new stage? Personally, I don't think so, because Code doesn't seem all that worried. It seems like he can still handle it, because remember, Code was stated to be someone stronger than Jigen. Jigen, who had Ishiki's power, and Ishiki is way stronger than Momoshiki. Way stronger than Momoshiki. Now, it also depends on whether or not they're talking about Code with his limiters or without his limiters. I don't know, but Code did state that even with his limiters, he could probably take on Naruto and Sasuke, but he still didn't want to take the risk. But he was 100% confident he could take them on, even both, without his limiters. But with his limiters, he said that doesn't want to take the risk. Now, personally, I think that this shouldn't really pose a problem to him. So because Ko doesn't strike me as someone who underestimates his opponent. So I don't think that he's going to be in trouble. I still think that it's going to get to a place where he's gonna put up a better fight, but Code will ultimately win, and then someone will have to get involved. So, with that being said, guys, there's the chapter. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you when we hopefully eventually get the actual panels for the chapter, and then later on when the chapter does come out, which should be in a couple of days, I'll give you my full review. Bye for now.